He's tall, dark, and handsome. And I fell in love with him on our first ride. His name is Domino, and he's a thoroughbred. And I feel so lucky that I got to take some of my first lessons last spring of last year on Domino. Because the first horse that I was partnered with was Jen, a kind, gentle mare. But I was ready for more of a challenge. And Domino had fire. And so there was one lesson, one day that I had with him on May 4th, 2021, that I will always remember. But first, let me just share with you how intoxicating it was for me to ride horses again. At 47 years old, to be including horses in my life. I would get all dressed for my lesson in my breeches. I mean, just say that name, like breeches, and my paddock boots, and my chaps, and my helmet. I just was strutting my stuff. I'd walk into the barn and just the smell of manure and hay and the leather of the saddles and the bridles and the horse. If you've ever had a love affair with horses, you know what I'm talking about. It's like all of that combined. It's just intoxicating. So on this day, blue sky, having a lesson. It's not my first. I'm like 6 weeks into lessons. I know a few things. So I'm having my lesson, outdoor arena, blue sky, and my instructor that day is trying to teach me how to give Domino the cues to go from a walk to a canter. And every time I do the cue with a left heel into his side and the reins a little tighter and that sound of, he doesn't go to a canter, he goes to a trot. And my instructor says, don't let him get away with that. Turn around, try again. I was getting so frustrated because I'm like that type A overachiever and I wanted to get it right. And so we kept trying and it wasn't working. And frustration is building. And I could tell that Domino was feeling that too. And I was just like, I wasn't listening to my horse. I was listening to the instructor. Lesson learned. But we kept trying. And we finally got it. And so we go from the walk into the canter, and if you've ever ridden the canter, it's this sexy rolling movement, and for a few seconds, I was so blissed out because we did it. We were cantering, and we finished the short end of the arena, and we turn onto the long end, and Domino takes off. He is cantering faster than I've ever experienced before. He is galloping. He is doing something I don't even have a word for, which is so fast. So what do? I grip and I pull, only to succeed in telling him, go faster. My left foot starts to fall out of the stirrup. I'm really starting to freak out. I'm bouncing around in the saddle, and all I can do is stare straight ahead at the fence that is quickly approaching us. And I am terrified that he's either going to run right into the fence or jump it. I can't tell which one would be worse because it's like this high. And beyond is the barn, and all I can do is stare at that. Now, I had the lesson that taught me, look where you want your horse to go. I could have looked that way. But while I'm bouncing on the saddle and my left foot is stalling out of the stirrup, I'm not thinking about that. I'm just fixated in that direction. And inches from the end of the fence, I fall off. I hit the ground so hard, I roll over and there's dirt in my mouth. I look up at Domino and the thought crosses through me of, please don't step on me. But he is right here, stopped. I'm imagining he's looking down at me saying, what are you doing down there? Over the next few minutes, someone has come to take Domino. I didn't even see it. 1 minute he's there, 1 minute he's not. My instructor's running up to me. She's like, you didn't hit your head. I watched you fall. But, okay, she's helping me up, helping me take my helmet off, and I can't draw a breath. there is so much adrenaline and emotion in my back, and this whole part of me is just like, and all I want to do is cry. All I want to do is sob. That's the only thing I want to do, because I feel like if I can sob, I can let it all out. Because that was so scary, and it's kind of over now, isn't it? And I should be able to get up, and I should be able to draw a breath and catch my breath, and then it'll be okay, right? Because it's okay to fall down, right? Several minutes pass, 15, 20, 30, I don't even know, and they realize it's not just the wind got knocked out of me. It's something a little bit more than that. So they take me to the ER. I'm sitting in a wheelchair. Tears are falling down my face, but I still can't sob. I'm still just... They do the scans. Compressed fractures in 2 vertebrae, lumbar 1 and 2. I leave, is that 5 minutes? I leave the ER that night at 2:30 in the morning wearing a teal hospital gown, my colorful striped socks and paddock boots, a back brace. It comes up as a T, it holds me tight around here and up the back, and pain meds. Thus began a journey of deep healing that was so much more than physical. And one of the biggest gifts that I learned from Domino in that fall, I've never called it an accident. My astrologer calls it an activation, was the beginning of a question of how much have I hidden my power behind me, thinking that if I fully embody it, I'll be out of control. And so I still live that question today of how much more of my power am I willing to receive? And can I allow that fall to open me up to being that power even more? Because falling down sometimes is okay.